Hey everyone, and thanks for joining another episode of DIB Innovators. Today's special episode at the 47G conference here in Salt Lake City. I have the honor of having Romney Williams, CEO of DRYOUT. Thanks for joining me, Romney.
It's a pleasure. I appreciate it.
So that's good. So tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you become the CEO of DRYOUT? Give us the walkthrough on the journey that brought you here.
It's a long one, so I'll condense it. But I was bitten by the entrepreneurial bug when I was in college. And I just had this insatiable appetite to lock arms with smart people and try to build something that was hopefully make money, but make a difference in the world. So part of some really interesting teams, some big failures, but some interesting successes along the way. One you might be familiar with, or a use case that I help a team solve, is cameras are everywhere now. They're in cars, they're in smartphones, they're everywhere. Well, there was a day when it was just film, and I was part of an MIT spinoff, and they had developed world-changing digital camera technology. So we did big deals with like Mercedes and Volvo and Logitech. We were like the Intel inside digital cameras. Yeah, it was cool. It was really cool. It was one of those deals where early in my career, you just learn to dance on the hot coals. Like, it's hot, so you just figure it out, right? So that was me just winging it with some really smart
Definition of being an entrepreneur.
just winging it, yeah. So, but I was not a founder. I don't get credit for that, but it was awesome. So fast forward, I found myself teaming up with entrepreneurs that wanted to bring on someone to be a CEO or president to lead out. And so I've done that 4 times. So I've done that in fintech, insurance tech, consumer products, and now with DRYOUT. So it's dual use defense tech and a lot of consumer applications.
Well, that is very cool.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Biggest lesson learned from one of your failures?
Wow. Distilling down to one is actually really, really hard.
You can give me 2.
Yeah, I'll give you a couple. The first is it's still about the vision and the team to execute. I would bet on, if you have to choose between an A-grade team and an A-grade market or product, I'd take the team all day long. Hopefully you can line up both, but it's all about the team with a really big vision to lock arms. Of course, you want shared values. That's really important. And just execute like mad and realize you're going to fail a lot, but try to fail quickly and expensively and fall forward.
Or did you have one of those, like, you have an example of like where you didn't follow that lesson learned and that's what cost you, without specifics, of course?
Yes, there was, I would say, just misalignment. I'm not going to name names, but I was on a team where there was just misalignment in the vision. And so if the founder or someone on the leadership team wants to go left and you feel like you need to go straight or right, that tension on the wheel is just really difficult.
Yeah.
So if you're going to bring on a CEO to lead out, if the founder is going to bring on a professional executive, we'll say, that person needs to be willing to hand over the reins, get out of the driver's seat and let them drive. Because if they're going to be held accountable, they have to obviously have the authority.
And the autonomy.
Hopefully not a hero complex, but just know that they can make hard decisions. And obviously they work with the team to do that.
No, I mean, that aligned vision is important. It's tough to get out of founder's mode.
It's tough. Yeah.
I don't think it's a natural thing. Well, great. So that brings you to DRYOUT. What was the vision for this? How did this, did they reach out to bring you in? Because it's the same situation. They brought you on to be CEO. So did you know anything about them before? Did they just hit you out of the blue?
Yeah. So what happened was, and I will say first and foremost up front, this is a scenario where the founder birthed something really special and as a result of a glorious accident and recognized along the way he needed help, he wanted help. And so we have not had that power struggle at all. So it's been great. He was looking for a CEO. And so I wasn't taking a jab at him by telling you that story.
Fair enough.
But a lot of us have this problem with electronics, smartphones, AirPods, key fobs, they get wet. You have this oh crap moment. What do you do with a wet phone? People hear about this.
You're right.
There you go. You've heard about the hack. Well, it turns out it does not work. It's great for eating. It will absorb a little bit of moisture in a steamer, but it does not have the capacity to pull moisture out of say a smartphone, for example. Can't wick it. So the founder had that problem. Best Buy recommended a bowl of rice. Didn't work. And 2 days later, he had an absolute epiphany, a light bulb moment where he was wearing a moisture wicking shirt and he was eating beef jerky and his fingers got on the bottom of the bag of beef jerky and all the jerky was gone, but he pulled out the little silica gel packet that says do not eat. And he had this light bulb moment of, wait a minute, maybe I could come up with a material that would pull moisture. And then he made it in the form of a pouch that would fit his iPhone. And it turns out it worked. And he patented it. So fast forward, the technology's gotten a lot better. It's not that basic, but just that concept worked. And he embarked on an entrepreneurial journey selling pouches for wet phones to like Staples and QVC. And then he's a big firearm enthusiast who lives in the southeast in Florida. And as you may know, moisture and firearms don't play really well together. You get something called rust and corrosion.
Yes.
And so his problem was, or his opportunity was, wow, same problem for the wet phone for firearms. Let's make bags for firearms engineered with his DRYOUT technology. So when I joined, it was a consumer products brand and had a successful go selling those products. The opportunity that I saw, which really excited me, is to be basically like what Gore-Tex is in the world of, a membrane that in like a rain jacket, a ski jacket, so it's waterproof. Why can't DRYOUT be that and work with hundreds of brands and be in thousands of different products, but where the function is to pull moisture out? So save electronics, musical instruments, photography gear like lenses, batteries, and all sorts of military gear, save that after exposure to moisture. So DRYOUT, come full circle, we have a B2B, it's called an ingredient brand business model, where we're like the Intel Inside or the Gore-Tex and other people's products.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. And it turns out moisture is a problem. It's fun to swim in. It's great to
Clean
when
yourself.
you want it. Yeah, when you want it, but it wreaks havoc on lots of gear.
And so you have some military application. You're the 47G,
Yeah.
some defense application, mostly in the firearms, or what does that look like? And how did you get into it? Because that's not an easy thing to do.
No, it's not easy at all. And we're still learning as we go. So like a lot of companies here at the 47G event we're what's called dual use, right? So we provide, we work with businesses in the consumer world, but we also work in defense tech. We continue to play in the consumer world really well. We're not selling products directly to consumers, but we're partnering with brands where we will design, develop, and produce for them finished goods. So a tech sleeve for a laptop or a tablet is one of many examples. We're developing those for a lot of brands. Well, on the military side, so that's good because as we cut our teeth there, we've learned a ton about manufacturing, getting the product better. In the military world, actually fairly serendipitously, I was introduced to someone, and then there's this chain of introductions that led me to a conversation with someone in a special forces. I can't say who, we can't announce it yet, but special forces for a certain branch of the U.S. military saw a helmet bag that we had developed that's engineered with DRYOUT. Think about the helmet. The helmet can get wet, but all the gear, the mission critical gear, the sensitive equipment's on top. You have night vision goggles. They're not waterproof. They get wet. That causes lens fog. That's really bad for the warfighter, right? And by the way, a lot of the night vision goggles now cost $20,000 each.
Right.
Then you have communications gear and so forth. None of that should stay wet. So the idea with the helmet bag is the warfighter takes it off at night, puts it in the DRYOUT helmet bag, zips it up, and what our technology does, it traps the moisture and then releases it with exposure to some heat or sunlight or airflow. So when I had the opportunity to speak with someone in the special forces about this, he neatly saw it and he just said, no brainer, we're going to do that. And within a matter of months, we became program of record.
Wow.
Yeah.
Full program already.
We feel very,
No valley of death for you.
we feel very fortunate. No one bats 1,000, but we're getting a lot of traction. And some of the other examples that are out there include, so dedicated night vision goggle pouches. This right here, I brought an example of, this is a panel engineered with DRYOUT that you could put inside like a Pelican hard case, or there are lots of brands in that category, protective case for traveling, for all the gear you have. You could stick this inside the case or on top of the gear in the hard case and close it. And now any moisture that's on or in the gear that's in that case is pulled out, extracted, and pulled into this panel. Oh yeah, go for it. So it doesn't look like anything special, but it really
It feels like the little bag that's in jerky. That's
Oh,
what it
well,
says. I mean,
yeah,
it feels like that.
Yeah, it's got a lot of different ingredients inside it. Yeah, but there's some technology in there. Again, it's a pull trap and then release. It doesn't release back into the case. It's just when you expose it to some sunlight or airflow, it will just release it. So you periodically take this out of the case. So that's one of many examples. There are a lot. Here, you see a lot of drone companies. Drones are obviously a lot of the future of warfare. We've learned from Ukraine. Drones are designed to get wet, or they're just one way. They don't tend to come back. But the controller and the goggles, when those are used, those aren't waterproof. Right. That's a huge factor, right? For the drone to work, you have to be able to control it. So we have a lot of these companies asking us for panels for the hard cases they store their equipment in, but also pouches that pull the moisture out.
Yeah, it makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
What have you enjoyed working with the military? Like, how's that been?
I just feel, I didn't serve in the military. My grandfather did. But I feel a deep sense of patriotism and gratitude toward warfighters and members of armed forces who sacrifice on a level that those of us who don't serve don't fully understand. So I love the idea in a small way of helping protect the warfighter. It's very meaningful, and we have a give back program, which is in part focused on helping veterans who struggle with mental health challenges. Oh, great. Whether it's PTSD, suicide ideation, addiction, whatever it is, that's very meaningful as a driver, a why behind our business is to support those who have fought for us and still struggle.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
So are you from Utah? Where are you guys?
Born and raised in Salt Lake. We're still here.
I'm still here.
Company's here.
So tell me a little bit about your interaction with 47D and Aaron and his team, Craig, and what's that been like? What is it? Give them a prop, if you will. Like,
yeah,
it's amazing.
Deservedly so. Yeah. So in a roundabout way, I actually met the consul to Ukraine from Ukraine at an event in Salt Lake City a couple of years ago. Wanted to contribute in a small way. We had some gun bags that prevent rust. And I just said, it's a small donation, but can I help the cause by donating some bags? And he said, sure. Turns out that the person who handled the delivery later planned a defense delegation to Kyiv, to Ukraine, on behalf of business leaders in the 47G world from Utah and some other states. So they invited me on that trip. So I had the opportunity to actually go to Kyiv. 2 years ago today, I was there. And that was my first exposure to 47G. The caliber of the people, you may have picked up on it. This ecosystem in Utah is very collaborative. We want to win, but we want to win together and help each other. So it's been amazing. The introductions, it's amazing. It's been great. So shout out from Aaron in leadership all the way on down. Everyone's been fantastic.
Did Ukraine buy your product?
There was interest in using it and testing it and helping us get into the NATO system. But we were early in our intellectual property protection internationally. And so I had a conversation with the person, their Minister of Commerce, it was over IP, who actually said, yeah, get it covered and then come back. So now we're at that point. So if I go back, yeah.
That'll be fun.
I want to help the war effort. I also am trying to run a business. So we do need to protect our intellectual property. But our equipment is phenomenal. By the way, if I can give it a plug, a lot of people know that silica gel packet. So that's where compared to the DoD uses it when they ship crates and containers and whatever. We did head-to-head testing, third-party test, a packet of silica gel compared to a panel about this size of DRYOUT. This panel of DRYOUT absorbed 3,400 times more moisture, not percent, times, than the silica gel packet.
A little one, or how big was it?
Then the little, which is commonly used. And then the little canisters you can buy were 15 times more than that. So it's pretty significant. So it's just a matter of getting in front of the right people to understand, I've got a problem. I have gear I need to protect. Moisture's a problem. I found nothing that works. So DRYOUT, when we have an opportunity, is a really good fit.
I love it. How much in the first responder area, you guys? Anything there?
We've had some interest, but because we work more in that world, it's more of B2B, where we would partner with a brand, a supplier, an existing supplier, and help them make their products better, and they would sell into that industry.
Okay. Do you have your own production facility then here in?
We've partnered with third parties throughout the United States to be when there's cut and sew or like soft goods like nylon in the U.S. As a federal government supplier, it needs to be domestically produced. So we have several partners there. And then for consumer products, you would find in like an Apple store, for example, or an REI, those are offshore.
Tell me about your patent and IP. I'm just curious. Could someone go out and do the same thing? Like, what part of it is patent? Just the material inside that pulls it, or is
Yeah,
it the whole concept?
Yeah, we've done a lot of patent work. So it's a material sandwich. So it's the construction of it. It's what we use. It's how it works. We continue to make it better, to broaden the moat. And so far, it's really solid. And then we've applied for a lot of international in almost 50 countries.
Oh, well,
So we see a big opportunity. The need is big.
that's great. So tell me where you guys are going to be. DRYOUT's going to be in 5 years.
Well, I can tell you our goal in 8 years.
Okay.
So on our way to this, hopefully. In 8 years, the goal is for DRYOUT to be in every household in North America and protecting every member of the armed forces. Whatever the use case is, we want to solve it.
I love
That is our BHAG. That's the Everest we're looking to climb. Yep. I don't love acronyms, but big, hairy, audacious goals.
Yeah, that's a good one, though. Well, that's awesome. Well, if someone wants to get more information about DRYOUT, or how would they do that? Or do they want to buy it?
You bet. Yeah, so we don't sell products directly to consumers out there, but in the world where your audience, there are a lot of people in DoD, federal government. So dryout.com, DRYOUT.com. There are a lot of overview videos, explainers. We're providing more and more data. So there's a way to contact us there, and love to hear from anyone. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm the only Romney Williams on LinkedIn that I'm aware of.
That's cool.
Yeah, unless there's some scary clone out there, but that would be bad. Only one of me that's probably too much. So
That's good. Yeah. Well, thanks, Romney. We're going to have to
Appreciate
wrap
it.
it up, but it's been a great introduction, and stay in touch.
appreciate it.